Okay, now let's bring in the House Minority Leader, Republican Congressman from California, Kevin McCarthy, for some reaction tonight. Mr. Leader, it's great to have you with us. I want to ask you to react to, and Peter was just there with former Secretary Julian Castro. He pointed the finger tonight at Congress about a lot of things on this issue of immigration and said that there are things in the law that need to be changed to do things like stopping family separations. I mean, he continually, pointed at lawmakers and said a lot of this has to be cleaned up by you guys, but you're not willing to do it. How do you respond?
Well, one thing, it's correct that the Congress needs to fix this law, but it's not the Republicans' fault. The Democrats have done nothing in the first 200 days. They deny there's even a crisis. If you listen to the debate tonight, the person who was attacked the most wasn't even there. It was former President Obama. Think about what the Democrats said, and this shows that this Democratic Party is the new Socialist-Democratic Party. They all claim for open borders, that it's no longer illegal to cross illegally into America. They also want to guarantee an income for those who are able to work but are just unwilling. And the interesting part, if there was one person who won the night, I would give it to Tulsi. Because Kamala Harris did not see that coming. She thought she would be always on the offensive, but she got on the defensive tonight. And I don't think Joe Biden survives this, because the attack was on the former president and Biden's administration, even from his own cabinet members, Castro.
Yeah, I mean, he did get certainly a lot of applause here, but he was clearly the target of all of these folks standing on the stage with him tonight. We talked about in the first debate how there was such a sighting in by Senator Harris on the vice president. It seemed like tonight everybody else was trying to get in on that game as well, with maybe the exception of Congresswoman Gabbard, because she did defend him on a couple of points. She's going to be our guest in a few minutes. But you mentioned the idea of socialism, and it's something that South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg brought up on night one last night. He said, no matter what we propose from this stage, whether it leans left or leans right, the the Republicans and the White House and this president are going to try to call us socialists, whether it's accurate or not, because it essentially scares voters out there. How do you respond to him?
No, listen to their policies. They're for open border. They're for taking away any private health insurance so you can only have it from government. They want to guarantee you an income, even if you're able to work but unwilling to work. That is the prime definition of socialism. And the Green New Deal, dictating from your house whether we can have a dairy, whether you can fly. Remember what Castro was saying there, and all of them agreed. They are for an open border. This is socialism at its best. And the interesting part here is, remember, there's a latest poll out there for the most requested endorsement for the Democrat, a former Democratic president, but the number one after that is AOC. And AOC calls herself a socialist Democrat. That's why this party has passed Joe Biden by, and the socialism continues to rise and has taken over this party. Just before we left the House, the Speaker, Nancy Pelosi, surrendered to the socialism wing of the party.
Well, we saw tonight that there was a heated discussion back and forth between the various candidates on the stage tonight about whether crossing the border would be handled in civil court or criminal court. Seems there's still some disagreement there. But the one thing that Cory Booker tried to warn the rest of them about, Senator Booker kept going back to this idea that the person who was loving the debate tonight the most was the president, because they are dividing and conquering and hoping to sow division among them. But of course, the role of a debate, whether it's Republican or Democrat, is to look for the differences in the candidates tonight. Do you see those areas of differences, or do you think they're monolithic in trying to move further to the left?
They're guaranteed moving further to the left. And I'm not sure if Cory understands what a debate is. You're supposed to debate ideas. But there is a common denominator through all of them. They believe in the idea of an open border. They believe in the idea of guaranteed income. But they also, in these places where they're going, they want government to be the answer for all their problems. And they have moved so far to the left, I'm not sure that they even can bring all the old Democrats with them. That's why I don't think Joe Biden survives. Think about the turmoil in the last week. You had Nancy Pelosi surrendering to the socialism. You've watched two debates that only talked about socialism. And then you've watched the arm of the Democratic Campaign Committee actually fire their top 5 people. They are in a spiral down, not knowing where to end up.
Well, we'll see, because so far the polling is with the vice president, but after round 2 in the books tonight, we'll see where the voters go from here. In the meantime, House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy from California, thank you so much. Great to see you.
Thank you.